Thank you everyone to come here today and joining for the discuss about the Miss Brooke Taylor Udenham case, and we are LMU Law Chambers here to get the better outcome to defend our client Miss Brooks. Thank you everyone. I'd like to first of all ask Khalid, which court would Miss Brooks case will start in?
Due to the nature of the case as an indictable case, the case will begin at all cases, including this case, will begin at a magistrate's court, and then the judge will make a decision whether to grant for bail or consider for legal issues such as reporting restrictions or whether the case how the case will be where the case will be leapfrogged.
Thank you, Khalid. So, basically the case will, my understanding is case will start as usual like other case from magistrate court.
Absolutely, the case will begin at the magistrate's court and there will not be any jury involved.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, I agree with you.
What the trial of Brooks case will be heard?
After the preliminary hearing from magistrates, it will be leapfrogged to a Crown Court. Due to the nature of the case we are dealing, such as a murder. The case will begin, as I stated, from a magistrate's court. It will go to a Crown Court.
So, it's okay for everyone, right?
Yeah, because minor offences start from magistrates, and the more serious one, like murder, they would lead on to starting from going on to the Crown Court.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Khalid.
I've got a few questions on my own. The first question I would like to know, for the case of Miss Brooke Wyndham Taylor, where would the appeal be heard?
Okay, so actually Miss Brooks case will be heard in the Court of Appeal, and that will go for after when we go for the final appeal for Miss Brooks case.
So you would go to the
Court of Appeal.
Courts of Appeal.
Yeah.
Okay, can you describe the role of each court?
Well, there's so many courts. Let me just tell you briefly a few of them. Now, first of all, the Crown Court. The Crown Court deals with indictable cases that have been transferred from the magistrate courts, including the hearing of serious criminal cases such as murder, rape, robbery, and then Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal consists of two divisions: the criminal division and the civil division. The decision of the Court of Appeal may be appealed to the Supreme Court. And yeah, that's if I think this basically I think we need to know for our cases to know the main characteristics of the role of or the role of the court.
Okay, excellent. Who would be Osman? I think can you shed some lights on the legal personnel involved in the type of judge?
Right. There are many types of judges. The main ones being magistrates, circuit judge, court of appeal judges, law lords, or known as law lords or lords of appeal. Right. Magistrates is normal people who volunteer to serve, receive some training and little payment. All criminal cases start at magistrates and then go to higher courts. Some things that are dealt in magistrates are licensing applications, etc. Next one is circuit judges, who are professional judges. Generally acts as judges in Crown Courts, hearing serious criminal cases and trials by jury. After that is master, professional procedural judges. They hear applications in High Court, such as application for injunction, freezing orders, etc. After that is Court of Appeal judges, hear appeals in both civil and criminal cases. The last one is law lords or lords of appeal. In ordinary sit on the Judicial Committee of House of Lords. That's where they're based. These are the highest court in the legal system of the UK, and these are supposed to be the best lawyers in the country.
Excellent. And what would be the role of a solicitor?
Right. Solicitor is normally a person that you contact if you have a legal issue. They work in a big range of organisation, including commercial, non-commercial, law firms, government, private business, and corporations.
Beautiful.
There's specialist knowledge in different areas of law, such as family crime, finance, property, and employment.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Do you have any questions of your own?
Alright, yeah, I would like to ask you, Khalid, the role of a barrister.
I think Zahid would be, Zahid, can you answer that one, please? I think.
Yes, the role of the barrister. First of all, the barrister, they do not come into contact with the public as much as solicitors. They are given details of the case by a solicitor. So, like Usman has said before, the role of the solicitor is very brief, and they deal with all legal matters. And then the barristers, they work at a higher level than solicitors, and they are specialists in their fields. They specialize in advocacy, i.e. they represent a client in court. And barristers, they are mainly known as the leaders, as they manage the case in courts. Normally they are present in courts accompanied with a junior barrister.
Excellent.
Right. I would like to ask you, Khalid, the role of judges and juries at criminal trials.
Excellent. The role of a judge is a senior role within the legal British legal system. Judges are given the role of deciding cases in some circumstances, or if there is a jury of ruling over proceedings and offering directions to the jury to ensure that justice is served in the correct way. If I talk about the role of the jury or jury role would be the jury will consist of 12 members from the public who sit in a box next to the judge. One of the jurors is selected as the chairperson to represent the group consisting of 12 in order to give legal guidelines and then later to deliver their verdict. One thing we should be all be aware of is this: they will not have any ruling, any decision making.
Yes.
So they have they will present their views to the judge, and it will be entirely up to the judge to decide to make the final verdict of the case.
Oh, excellent.
Thank you for sharing all your ideas. I think everyone's asked the questions answered. Mainly the judicial route of the way the courts will be starting from, where the appeals will be heard, the roles of the courts, the roles of the judges, and the legal person involved, like judges, solicitors, barristers. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Bye.
Brooke has sacked her lawyer, Professor Callahan, because he was negligent towards her regarding the case. Discuss using case law, his liability to Brooke, if any.
Before I go for this liability, let me give you a brief idea what is case law. The case law can be derived as a just-made law and is based on a rule known as the doctrine of binding judicial precedent.
Okay.
The principle underlying of the doctrine is that decision made by a court in a case of involving a particular set of circumstances is binding on other courts in later cases, where the relevant facts are the same, similar.
I think that lawyers are immune from liability towards their client. I have a case here which was Rondo versus Wolseley in 1967. The claimant was charged and convicted for GBH, meaning grievous bodily harm. The defendant was the barrister who represented him at trial. The claimant brought a negligence action against him, claiming that he had not asked all the questions he had asked him to when cross-examining witnesses and had not put all the evidence before the court. The High Court struck out the claim as disclosing no cause of action because barristers cannot be sued by their client for negligence or lack of skill in presenting their case in court. The claimant appealed, and the Court of Appeal dismissed the appeal. The appealant appealed to the House of Lords. The judge that was dealing with this case, his name was Lord Reed, he gave the following reasons, stating that every counsel has a duty to his client fairlessly to raise every issue, advance every argument, and ask every question, however distasteful. So, from what I have present here, I firmly believe that barristers are immune from negligence suits for their conduct of a case in court.
Oh, you make me so relaxed now in my profession.
No. Let me present my point. That was in 1967, but however, we have a case where Ross versus Counters in 1979, where solicitors prepared a will for a client and sent it to him for a signature. D failed to warn the client that his signature should not be witnessed by the spouse of a beneficiary, and subsequently did not notice that this had actually happened. So this shows you that the solicitor was negligent, and the court ruled against the solicitor.
Okay.
So therefore, the beneficiary, or won the case. Also, I also came across another case where White versus Jones in 1995, where a father quarreled his two daughters from receiving his will. Then subsequently, the father changed his decision, and then decided to give each of his daughters 9,000 an amount of 9,000. When the father died 2 months later, before the solicitor had completed the changes of the will, the two daughters did not receive the intended legacy because of the delay caused by the solicitor. The case went to court, and the solicitor lost, where the two daughters of the beneficiaries won the case. So this shows you again, the lawyers, or those who are in the professional sector, are not immune from the liability, or are not above the law.
Okay,
Okay,
anyways.
so we can come to a conclusion saying that, from what I've said and what you said, so if there is hardcore evidence, or firm concrete evidence that barristers were being negligent, then eventually they can be charged for
Yeah.
and have a
Yes.
liability towards the defendant.
I think so, Khalid,
Yes.
right?
Absolutely.
So far, my understanding from the two cases that Khalid is giving different. Because so my understanding is very simple, is that lawyer, they're not above the laws. None of us. So we are here for law basically. So we should be more careful and more cautious person for when it's coming in the ground of law.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.